you have Delhi and Kolkata. This is happening at the Firozshah Kotla. So it's rare for Delhi to have two games back-to-back at home early in the season, because normally their games happen late in the season. Kolkata definitely carrying confidence, Joy, into this game from their previous one. They're thinking, just we can chase anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the big plus for them is how Nitish Rana has batted, because Nitish Rana and Robin Uttappa, we all thought that Kolkata would get explosive starts and an explosive finishers. But what's been the real plus for them is that Robin has looked like the Robin of 2014. Ominous form he's looked in. It's one is a question of the runs he's made, but also the way he's batted, and Nitish Rana. So that means that unit is even looking bigger and better. And Shubham Gill, who everyone thinks is a prospect, really hasn't got that much of a chance to play. So it's looking like a phenomenal batting lineup. The bowling is not looking that great. Again, Prasidh Krishna is a bit of a weakness, but they'll always be a competent bowling side because they are smartly managed. People like, Piyush Chawla and all are very smart bowlers. They're not great bowlers. But Piyush Chawla is what, 125, 130 IPL wickets?
Yeah. So therefore, when you look at their team, do you think they'll make any changes?
What was the team last time? You go to Delhi, what would you do? You got three spinners in there. Sunil Narayan, Kuldeep and Piyush Chawla. In Delhi also want that.
Actually, Delhi, the plus of Kolkata is also their weakness. Look at that second unit. There's nobody there who you really like replacing anyone there in the 11. You look down that lineup, you say, no, this guy's sitting in the bench, I need to have him inside. Not really.
There's no shoe in there for sure.
Sitting there saying that, wow, we must give this guy a chance. So I think they're very dependent on their first 11, but they have a very strong first 11. Barring their fast bowling, their Indian fast bowling, I think they're a very strong first 11.
Yeah, and we talked of all of them. If you see, look, only two games. Yeah. And I talked about Russell, but each one of them in that side, except Prasidh Krishna, probably has had an impactful game. Yeah. Yes, Lynn hasn't had, but you know what Lynn can do. Yeah. So everybody is a useful player in there. I can't find one of those Mandeep Singh or Tirpati. Oh, today's game, Tirpati didn't even bat. Yeah. Again, so in that side of Knight Riders, I don't see anyone who's not going to be used every game. So pretty solid side.
Point.
Why would you change? They don't change much, do they?
Good 11.
Delhi, no, not at all. I think Delhi, this is a crucial big game. Yeah. Because you see, they've had that big win. We've come back. We're now no longer, the Daredevils. We are the Capitals. We're a new team, new unit. They've won it. And then they've had a dispiriting loss. I mean, it's not been an easy loss for them to take on their home ground with CSK. So this is the match where you see how the character is, how the team have they taken it well, have they taken it badly? Have they now moved past that? Because once you have a couple of losses, then, immediately, pressure comes to this thing. Then the old ghosts coming back, So I think this is a very important match. It's a far more important match for Delhi than it is for
Kolkata. There's one change definitely. Chris Morris is available. Saw him with the Delhi team, so he's obviously there. So you'd say he comes in for Keemo Paul.
Keemo Paul goes back to being a good dish.
Keemo Paul was basically a placeholder, right, at the dining table there for Chris Morris. So he comes in. Remember that last time they played only 3 foreigners, which means 3 Indian spinners. One of them could make way for Sandeep Lamichhane.
I definitely think they should. He's a class act, and there's no reason not to play him. And I think he really adds.
Which of the 3 Indian spinners? Is it Mishra, Tewatia or Akshar Patel who makes a place for Sandeep Lamichhane?
Oh, out of those, let's see, who would they leave out? Probably Tewatia, because Akshar Patel is a experienced player. Mishra did pretty well, although they didn't play him in that first game. But I would agree with you. You got to bring him in, especially for Knight Riders. I keep saying you got to have a person or a kind of bowler for Andre Russell's, that period of time.
Who is that bowler for?
And somebody needs to have a word with Prithvi Shaw as well. It's fine to just go there, have that license. But if you get to 20, then make the most of it. Yeah. You don't want to throw it away.
But I have
on the other side, Ricky Ponting said to Shikhar Dhawan,
he said we would like to have had him score faster.
So I'm saying, so that's so then he can't have a word with Prithvi Shaw and tell him to slow down as well. Yeah. So if you are telling each one how to play, then.
So by the way, there was also Shikhar also was struggling with his ankle a bit that day, which we found out later. So there was, I think, while they were warming up playing football, our cricket team just got to stop playing football.
While Prithvi has to slow down, definitely Shikhar. Something's happening there, they need to just sort it out. I mean, whatever it is, Shikhar is a very good batsman, but he was definitely playing as if the weight of the extra money on his back, on his account was hurting. In the sense that he moved to SRH, from SRH because, he didn't get the contract he wanted. They couldn't afford to offer it under circumstances. He came to Delhi for that reason. Now for this is important for him. It has to work out, and I feel that he's feeling that pressure right now. He's feeling the need to have 50s and 60s and what we call safe 50s and 60s, you know. And
really,
I think
I genuinely thought that day he was just finding it tough to score, and a lot of people were finding it kind of tough to score. It was not that.
Could be. I hope so. I certainly hope so, because he's a great player when he sees the ball, and you know, when he plays, you know, this thing cricket, you know, open cricket, free cricket, he's a great player.
Yeah.
And I mean, while Prithvi Shaw, as I said, could probably be told to, you know, look at his shot selection a bit, definitely seeing a free Shikhar Dhawan would be very useful.
Yeah, well, they've had two batting efforts that were in stark contrast to each other. So what do you know? You never know. They might just keep the bowling as is. I mean, get Chris Morris in for Chemo Paul and decide the fourth foreigner is going to be Colin Munro up top. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out. Yeah. Just something left field I'm throwing out. Never know. He's the number 2 T20 batsman in the world. He's sitting on the bench. So just like we were saying, KKR, there's no player on the bench where you go, holy, he should be playing. There's plenty
DC.
for Delhi.
There's plenty for Delhi, because you know last year it was a plain slate, so you're starting off and these are good players sitting outside, whereas KKR is the other way around. They had a decent year last year, not a great one, not a bad one, so there aren't places, and you think of people with success.